Evening class. This is my legacy interview for Health Sciences 305. I've chosen to have the legacy interview with my mother, Ruby Mickelson, who's recently in October turned 80 years old. Thanks for letting us interview you, Mom.
You're welcome, Eddie.
And to start, we'd like if you could describe your childhood.
Okay, I had a very happy childhood. My mom was left with 6 children, and it wasn't easy. We were very poor, but we had a lot of love in our home, and my mom was always there for us, and I can't think of anything in my childhood that I would change. I had a wonderful childhood.
Were there any significant events during that time?
Well, after my dad passed away when I was very young, and I had my oldest brother. He was the oldest of us kids, and he had to go to war. That bothered us a lot. We all missed him so much. He was in the Korean War, and he's still living today. He's 86. And that was one thing that I'll remember back, that I'll never forget, when he left and walked out of the house the last time to have to leave to go to war. That was one thing in my memory that bothered me for a long time. But then once he got home, I was fine.
Have there been any significant events, like when you left for war, that shaped your adulthood?
Not that I can think of. I think all of us just kind of stuck together, and to make sure that we were there for our mother, and because she was having such a hard time with him having to leave. But other than that, I can't think of anything that...
And at the present moment, how would you describe yourself?
I'm very happy. I've been through a lot I've had quite a few surgeries in the past year, and I can't walk real good, and I have a hard time with that. But other than that, I mean, I've got a nice place. I love where I'm at. I'm a very happy person.
With living in this community now and growing up from your childhood to adulthood, in those times, is there any identities that you relate to or feel like you're relating to?
I wished I'd have prepared better for my adulthood and my aging. And when you're young, you think, oh, I'll never be 80 years old. Well, you are. And it comes a lot faster than you expect it to. But other than that, I wished I would have prepared more financially and been more aware of that someday I would be alone, and that I needed to prepare myself for it.
And I think a lot of us can feel unprepared once we get to the moment. I fit in that identity too. Could you take a few moments and describe your life these days?
I live in a very nice apartment house. It's senior citizens. It's not an assisted living or anything. It's just a really very nice apartment house, to where you have to be 65 or older to live here. And wonderful neighbors. We do a lot of things together, and we have a potluck once a month, and bingo twice a month, and pizza night once a month, and we just played cards a lot. It's just a very comfortable place to be, and I'm very, very, very happy here and feel very safe. And for a long time, I had a hard time feeling safe. I was being by myself. I didn't feel safe or comfortable, but since I've been here, and I've been here 2.5 years now, and I love it.
This is a nice place.
Yeah.
And you had talked about the age limit being needed here,
Mhm.
what kind of age range of persons living here?
Well, the oldest one that lives here is 99. She's a wonderful woman, very active, very, she's probably more active than I am, really. She doesn't even have to use a walker. And she's a very good card player. And the youngest one is 62, and I'm not sure, I say 62, I think she's 65. And then Wilma at 99, she's the oldest.
99.
99. And we're like a big family. We really have a lot of fun together. We look out for each other.
With you yourself just turning 80 this year, and those early years with your mother, with your siblings, how have you dealt with aging over that time frame?
Not real good. I haven't been a good ager. My oldest, well, actually she's not my oldest daughter, she's my middle daughter. She's always telling me I need to enjoy and accept the age that I am and the time of my life that I'm in. But sometimes I think, it all happened so quick, it seems like. And I wished I could have planned more for my aging life, and especially financially. And but I was a stay-at-home mom, and I don't regret that. I'm glad that I got to stay at home with my children. But back when my children were young, I mean, most mothers did stay home with their children. Now it's almost impossible with the price of living and everything. But I don't regret being home with my children, but I do wish I would have planned ahead more.
With everything that you've taught us, your children, grandchildren, are there any life lessons you'd like to share with the class and my instructor?
The only thing I can think of is just be a good mother to your kids, love them, take care of them. I got 48 grandchildren. I love every one of them. I wouldn't take nothing for any of them. I just want to, when I'm gone and leave this world, I want my children and my grandchildren, all of them, to be able to say that I was a good mother and a good grandmother, and that I hope they had good memories of me.
Maybe. Over those years as well, from your childhood to adulthood, and now in the home amongst other elders, do you have a legacy that you think you've led or would still like to pursue?
No, God has always been a big part of my life, and I want my children and my grandchildren to always try to put God first in their life and make sure that they live the kind of life. I have 5 children, and all of them has turned out to be wonderful, good parents, they're just good people, and I've never had any trouble with any of them. And I want my children and my grandchildren to as they get older, to realize that it matters how they're raised and how they raise their children, and what they live is what they're going to be. And I feel like that's what I am today is because of my mother, and I want my children to be able to say that.
You do. How we had talked about your grandchildren, family, your siblings, your parents. We're going to be building that genogram that I had talked to you about, so you'll be able to see everything that's grown from just you, the family members.
That'll be interesting.
It'll be fun to see, so we'll be sharing that tomorrow.
Okay.
And I just want to say thanks again for sharing your story with the class. I know everyone is nervous at first to talk about themselves.
Yeah, it is kind of nerve-wracking.
But I really appreciate it, Mom. Thank you.
That's good. I'm glad. I'm glad I could do it for you. It's my pleasure.
Thank you very much.